guys, and I'm a critic, and welcome back. We're down to our last two divisions for this preview show, and we're talking about the AFC East. And the team that are going to be last place, no big surprise, they were once the greatest of all time, and now they're considered laughingstock like the rest of us. So, last place is going to be the New England Patriots. And boy, does that feel weird to say it out loud. That we're predicting probably another year of the Patriots being the worst. Man, it's been 20 years for fans to think that. Be the worst team. Oh boy. Even though, now granted, let's be frank here. I'm gonna be honest with you, because I try to be honest with my channel. I had Judon being the defensive front. I had Judon being the defense MVP. And then I hear the news that he got traded to Atlanta. So everything about the Patriots thing just changed. It changed. Initially, I had them at a potential 7-10, and let's just say that has now been switched to a 5-12, and then the ceiling and the lower level has been switched to a 3-14. I think the Patriots are going to be the worst team in the NFL. The Patriots are going to get the top, are going to be close to the top pick. Now, you might be thinking, well, they got Drake May. I'm like, yeah, that means they can use that pick to get Travis Hunter or something else. The Patriots, if they have addressed their quarterback needs, cool. But they have so many just nah. Their defense seems bland. Their receiving threat is blah. Their best player is Stevenson. So I already kind of gave you a hit more MVP is going to be. And even then, I'm like, Drake May, I'm hoping he does well. I'm hoping he will do for you. But, I mean, we'll see. Week 3 at the Jets. If Aaron Rodgers is there, could you guys beat the Jets? Or will Aaron Rodgers destroy you? Like he has done with so many inferior teams before in the past. Week 6 versus Houston. That's another big test. And then week 10 at Chicago. So by the first 10 weeks of the season, 3 of the games that I feel like are your most formidable, you're going against them already. And I'm like, how do you guys feel? Do you guys feel good? You guys feel good? I don't feel good. I don't feel good for you guys. And that's nothing, no disrespect to Mayo or Jacoby Brissett or even Drake May or even the whole thing. It's just, I don't know any Patriot fan that feel really confident that this team could even get 8 wins this year. I don't know. I don't know who feels that way. And with everyone else in the AFC East alone, I mean, I might just say it. You guys might have 6 losses in your own division. You might get swept by everybody. And that's why I'm saying I think the Patriots will probably be the number one seeded team in the draft. Sorry, I'm already spoiling everything for you. So initially I had them a certain way, but then the Judon trade happened. So right now as I'm recording, their ceiling is 5 wins. And their lowest is 3. So maybe they'll get lucky, get a win here or there against teams that just choked in the worst possible way. I don't know. But yeah, I see the Patriots being the worst team in the NFL. Honestly, that's how I'm feeling. Now, could they surprise it? Of course they could surprise it, but I don't see it. I don't see it. There's too many question marks, and I feel like compared to other first-time coaches, like I think Pierce in Las Vegas has a defense. He has at least one side of the football that I feel confident that he can go into games with and be like, okay, we got at least one side of the football. New England, I don't know. And with the Judon thing happening, I felt like you guys just said, prepare for the worst. Prepare for the worst. So 5-12, 3-14. Yeah, I had to change it for this recording. Your offense and defensive MVP, Stevenson and Gonzalez. Seriously, I looked anywhere on that defense. And I've heard he was doing great his rookie season. Then he got hurt. So I'm hoping that Gonzalez will come in and he will confirm what you guys thought he was in his rookie year. That's all I can really feel about it. But still, there's a lot. There's a lot to be held. Stevenson might have 1,000 yards, or he might just have under 1,000 yards because everyone know that all you have really is running backs. I mean, who is really their biggest receiving threat in the Patriots? And I'm saying that for the past few years when Brady wasn't there. I mean, I can't really think of the top of my head that you can say he was the best. Well, he was the only receiver, and like, yeah, there you go. He was the only receiver. So, but yeah, verdict, top 10, and I'll say it here. The Patriots will have the number 1 pick in the draft. I'm calling it. For the 2025 draft, the Patriots will have the number 1 pick, and they'll probably use it on Travis Hunter. Yeah, I'm for real. Which means Travis Hunter cannot wear number 12 for obvious reasons in the NFL. But yeah, the Patriots will have the number 1 pick. But don't worry, because misery likes company. And I do not know, but until I see otherwise, Week 1 at San Francisco. Talk about, man, talk about fighting the Elder Ring boss in the first level. Really? Now, good news is San Francisco could be going through, growing pains as the new season approaches, so maybe have a chance. And Aaron Rodgers kind of want to prove his point. So maybe Aaron Rodgers has some of that mojo magic left. He's kind of proving that you guys doubt me. Aaron Rodgers can come into this game and make the Niner defense look like a bunch of JV teams in high school. Aaron Rodgers can come in, throw for like 4 touchdowns, 375 yards, no interceptions, has like a perfect quarterback rating. And then he will come to the sideline and go to them and be like, you guys doubted me. I told you. Good. Week 9 versus Houston, and then Week 17 at Buffalo. Now, the Week 17 at Buffalo, I put it there because if the Jets are going to be fighting for playoff spots, going against Buffalo toward the end of the season, kind of feel like that could be your last blockade to get through to get a playoff spot. Now, if somehow the Jets, I believe their defense is so underappreciated because the offense is so bad, they don't get the credit. If the defense is as good as I believe they have been, this game against Buffalo could be fighting for division. Not playoff spot, but division title. I could be completely wrong. But 11-6 should not be that far-fetched. And in worst case scenario, 9-8. Because I am banking on Aaron Rodgers and his massive ego to force the Jets to the playoffs. I just can't help but be Aaron Rodgers would somehow just become a slag at the end of his career with the Jets when deep down he wants to say, everyone, all the reporters, he wants to just say, all of you doubted me, all of you can now kiss my ass. That's what Aaron Rodgers wants to do, and honestly, I am for it. Aaron, go nuts and make all the critics eat crow. I'm rooting for you. That's why when it comes to offense and defensive MVP, Aaron Rodgers, you're my MVP because you're going to be the reason why this Jets team is even in the playoffs and into the public eye of positivity and not just, oh my God, we suck. Now, the defensive MVP, believe it or not, I initially had Hassan Reddick. I had Hassan Reddick. But at the time of this recording, he has not signed. He wants more money and requesting a trade. So I guess I go with Sauce Gardner as a way to say, oh, look, I went with someone that's less controversial. And even then, there is a small part of me where I'm like, I swear to God, if you let this guy go and he signs with Atlanta, I quit this year. Now, there are talk about saying that, some team should go for him. And I'm like, stay away from the Chiefs. Stay away. I mean, the Bengals might seem nice, but I feel the Jets said they're not going to trade him. I'm like, cool. Are you going to pay him? Crickets. All I hear is crickets. So initially it was Hassan Reddick because I feel like he was a big attribute for that defense. But at the time of recording, he'd been requesting a trade, so I'm giving to Sauce Gardner. So good job, guys. Way to jet things up. The worst thing, you guys jet so badly that you even jet a player that's already on your team. Good job, losers. The verdict. Playoffs. It better. I don't care how. I don't care why. But I swear to God, the Jets better be in the playoffs. Seriously. If not, I am calling a CIA level rigging against the Jets. And also, I believe that Joe Namath definitely made a deal with the devil to make that happen. But the Jets should be in the playoffs. I emphasize in my notes, I say they better be. They better be. That means the teams in front of them are probably already going to be in the playoffs. And the question I'm sure some people are probably thinking, well, who's it going to be? Buffalo, Miami. Now, to be honest with you, I was conflicting with these two. Both have reasons. The Bills have a lot of question marks. New receiving core. No veteran leadership. Defense depleted. Miami, they have Tua. Good and bad. So Miami Dolphins are your number 2 team in the AFC East. Week 2 versus Buffalo will be a nice way to see where we start ourselves off. But then toward the end of the season, at Green Bay, at Houston, 2 teams will be fighting for division titles. And it'll be a perfect opportunity to see if Miami can compete with the big dogs. You're playing with the big boys now, Miami. So you better showcase you can do something toward the end of the season, or you have another end season collapse and then get frozen in Kansas City. But even then, 10-7 is the best I can do for you. Christian Wilkins' departure does make me go, oh, sad. Also, you had no pass rusher. But even with all that being said, Miami, you still have Tyreek Hill, Waddle, and every Waddle away. I'm trying to support you, dude. I'm trying to support you. I stand on my chair and it's like, yes, and then I sit down going, no, and then I'm like, don't bother. And I don't know which. Can the Miami Dolphins team start the season off hot? But I guess just like when the season gets cold, so do you guys get cold. Dude, Miami, you gotta take advantage here. Especially with the Buffalo Bills defense being depleted. But like I said, even then, your ceiling is 10-7, but your low point is 7-10. I can see you guys losing 3 games you're not supposed to lose. Like Tennessee last year, like Buffalo last year. Game you should not have lost to, but you did. That could have helped you. So until I see otherwise, that's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm feeling with you guys. Offensive MVP, Tyreek Hill. Hell, Tyreek Hill was the NFL MVP according to the top 100. Bradley Chubb, pass rushers extraordinaire. Miami lives and dies by sacking quarterbacks. And I feel like that's what they need to be the frame of. You guys traded for Chubb, who was initially drafted by Denver. And for some reason, I don't see the same, threat that he was at NC State. So I'm kind of just feeling like, sure, Bradley Chubb, yeah, pass rusher, yeah. Sack those other quarterbacks and maybe we'll help out. Tyreek Hill's going to show out. We know that. And as long as Tua is healthy, that's going to happen. But some mojo has to happen from November on, guys. Because I feel a little bit more comfortable to say Miami could win or is going to win the AFC East. But I don't want to say it publicly right now. I'm just saying it could happen. The verdict, Miami makes the playoffs. But if they make it like last year, last seed going into it, they'll be one and done. Miami has to win the division to get a home playoff game if they have any hope of advancing beyond the wild card. Let's be frank, do we really see them winning the number 1 seed? No, but if they were, that's a different story. But for right now, you're probably going to go to the wild card, and it'd be best if you guys can win the division and get a home playoff game. Yes, even if it's against the freaking Jets or Bills, at least you'll be at home. Use that to your advantage, fool. So Miami playoffs, obviously. Division, hopefully. So that means I have Buffalo. Boy, Buffalo. Can't get a break, can you? Now, I have them 11-6. Still, yes, they have a higher ceiling. But even then, I feel like with Josh Allen and company, they will literally force themselves into a playoff spot at 9-8. That's why I have them a little bit higher than I have Miami. Week 5 at Houston is going to be a big test for Buffalo because that's a big dog team early on the season. And then of course they're week 11 and 13 against the two Super Bowl contenders, the Niners and Chiefs. Good news, those both games are in Buffalo. So maybe use that to your advantage, something like you didn't use last year. The defense depletion in Buffalo is bugging me to no end, especially in that secondary side. And I'm wondering, is this could be the year where Josh Allen does too much and it backfires? Injuries, poor play, worst time to have a turnover type of thing. But yeah, he is going to be the reason. And I'm hoping Coleman and company, that the new toys on the offensive side prove their worth. But yeah, week 5 at Houston is going to be a big test. It'll be after that 4-week grace period where you guys are trying to figure out who they are. But then you're going against a big dog on the road. Prove to the fan base and prove to everyone that, oh, we're still here. You may have ignored it, but we're still here. So that's how I'm feeling. Your offense and defense MVP goes to Josh Allen and Von Miller. I don't care what you say. I don't care if Von Miller only plays like 3 snaps per series, but Von Miller is still a pass rushing machine. He is basically a more aged version of TJ Watt. He's there to sack quarterbacks, and that's it, and he loves his job. He is basically the Wolverine. I'm the best at my job, and that's what he is. And I think when he got hurt earlier in the season, I feel like it was heavily missed, because apparently no one else could do what he did consistently, even in limited roles. So for right now, Von Miller is still the best defensive player for the Buffalo Bills, even at his aging self. But I'm telling you, if he gets 10 sacks, do not be surprised, because he's going to be going there fresh on the best situation. 2nd and long, 3rd and long, crunch time, 2 minutes, he'll be there. That's why he'd be my defensive MVP candidate. Verdict: you guys are going to the playoffs by force. Out of the 3 teams in the AFC that I said could make the playoffs or should make the playoffs, Miami is the one team that I feel like has the easiest way to get into it. They have a quarterback that's already proven. Their team is not as depleted as others. They're in a they have one of the most dynamic threats in receiver in Tyreek Hill compared to the other 2 receiving core. So to me, I feel like Miami has the easiest. The hardest is Buffalo. I think the Jets are kind of in between. Because it's like Aaron Rodgers. You're clearly better than those 2 quarterbacks, correct? Yes. Your defense is way more formidable than the other 2. Yes. So why do I not feel as confident to say Jets are going to win the AFC East versus Buffalo is going to miss the playoffs? Or could miss the playoffs. I don't think they're going to miss the playoffs. But the AFC is a lot of tough teams. That maybe even that 10 wins or 9 wins might not even be enough. That could be how formidable it is. But Buffalo, I still say they'll make the playoffs. I still say they will. But I'm not as sure as I am. I have more confidence in the Jets and Miami. But yeah, that's the Buffalo Bills. And that's the AFC East. One more division. One more. And that is the AFC East, which pardon me, the NFC East. So once again, I end this whole segment with the NFC East again, clearly not showing favoritism. So yeah, the last 4 teams, the last division, we'll go there, and then we can off to the season. So until next time, I'm Cortez, and I'm a critic. Thank you very much for watching.